Hi everyone, and welcome back to our channel 中文, where we talk about things that you might not have learned with your Chinese teacher in the classroom. This is another video in our series about super radicals or 超部首. These are character elements that give usually the sound, but possibly also the meaning to other characters, but are not included in the original 217 radicals. Okay, so this is the seal script version of the character we'll be talking about today, modernly written like this. Okay, it's the character shang. Okay, shang means something like esteem or worth. Okay, you might be familiar with the word 高尚, okay, meaning noble. This character shang is actually made up of two other official radicals, okay, the radical xiao and the radical tiong. Okay, but as you can see, the character shang doesn't receive its sound from either of the characters, but the sound that it does lend to other characters is that pronunciation of shang, or something resembling that pronunciation. Let's take a look at our first set of characters that receive their sound from this character shang. These are the three that the sound is most similar to the original character. The character shang. Okay, so here you can see the character element that gives it its sound from before, shang. And you might be familiar with this character, let's say from the word xin shang, okay, to appreciate. This is the only popular character that actually gets the original sound of shang. There are some other more esoteric characters that I didn't put in this video that do also have the pronunciation shang from the original character, but I didn't feel were very relevant to show you guys. Another similarly sounding character is chang. Okay, there you can see the character element, and this is a very basic word. Okay, qingchang. Okay, often. Okay, or normal. This character also pronounced chang. Okay, so you might say, okay, where's the character element here? So for this one, we have to look at its traditional way of writing the character. Okay, and here you can see the character element of shang. Okay, so these don't have the pronunciation shang, but it's a very similar pronunciation of chang. Okay, from the word, let's say, 尝试, okay, to try. And the third similar sounding one is chang, okay, like to grasp. Okay, here you can see the character element that we're talking about. And for example, this word 掌握, okay, to grasp something, okay, either physically or conceptually. Okay, this character also becomes a character element in another character. Okay, the character chang, okay, which means to prop up. Okay, here you can see the character element and an example of a word here, 支撑, okay, to support. Okay, so these were the characters that sound most similar to the original character shang, which gives them their pronunciation. So let's move on to some more characters that also receive part of their sound from shang. So, for example, this character, dang, okay, here you can see the character element, and this word is also written differently in the traditional script, but you can see both the traditional and the simplified scripts have this character element. This is, maybe you're familiar with 党员, okay, party member, okay, political party member. So this character, and as well as the other characters that we'll see in this portion, only receive the second half, okay, of the sound. So they leave out the sh of the shang, okay, and they only indicate the ang sound. Okay, so this is dang. This word as well, also pronounced dang. Okay, marked it in red because it's also somewhat of a super radical in itself, as we'll see. So here you might ask as well, okay, where is the character element? So here as well, okay, we have to look at the traditional script in order to find it. It is hinted in the simplified script as well. Okay, and we can see the super radical over here. This is the tang from, let's say, Tangran. Okay, of course. Okay, and this, as I said, also gives its pronunciation to other words as well, such as dang. Okay, like some kind of files or shelves. Okay, and dang, which means to block, okay, or obstruct. And you can see their character elements over here on the right. Our next set of characters receive the pronunciation tongue. Okay, so this is the character tongue, okay, which means like a hall or something like that. Here you can see the character element shang, okay, like li tang, okay, ceremony hall or assembly hall. This next character, okay, pronounced tang. Okay, here you can see the character element on the right. This character means to lie down. Okay, to lie down on a bed. Okay, tang. Our next character, tang. Okay, you can see the character element on the right, and on the left, the character for walking. Okay, this is a measure word for a trip. Okay, I'm going to give a general comment here. As you may have recognized, there's a pattern where the element of the character that gives it its sound is placed either on the top, okay, or on the right side, whereas the element of the character which gives it its meaning is on the bottom or on the left. Okay, for example, in the character we just saw, tang, okay, which means a trip. So on the right-hand side we have shang, okay, which gives it its sound, and on the left-hand side we have the character zhou, okay, which indicates that it has to do with walking or movement. Okay, our next character, okay, tang, okay, it might be a slightly less familiar character for you guys. It's basically like a fancy way of saying if, okay, tang ruo. Okay, and last but not least, maybe even less familiar than the one before, tang, okay, meaning like to drip or to flow, okay, so liu tang, okay, meaning flow, water flow. So as you can see, tang, the first tang, I also highlighted in red because it also gives its sound to several other characters. Xiong tang, okay, meaning chest. Okay, you can see the character element of tang here on the right, and tang lang, okay, meaning a praying mantis, also here on the right. And lastly, to this character, chang, okay, which is another way of saying to stare. One last note about these 5 tongues, which all sound similar. So if you're encountering trouble remembering which tone these characters are, for example, you manage to remember that they're all some sort of tongue because of their character element of shang. So you manage to connect the sound element, but you can't really remember the tone. You can check out our other video about how to use a special method that I developed in order to remember the tones of characters based on attaching their meaning to the meaning of the tones. So that's all for our video today. These are not all the characters that use the character element of shang. There are very, very many. Most of them are quite esoteric and won't really be relevant to you at this point of your learning. But if you're curious, you can go and look them up online. So thank you for watching. Feel free to check out other videos on our channel, 中文, 中文. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe to see more. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.